funds to actually fund other projects, other,
Exactly.
visions, different businesses you may have. You may want to invest in other businesses. That's what I've done in the past. I invest in
Right.
other businesses. And
That's
so,
smart.
yeah, and it's also a thing. You have the stock market option as well. There's
Right.
so many ways to do
All
it.
of that.
Um, and I often wonder, which leads me to the next question. When should someone set up an LLC or an S corp uh, in regards to their everyday life? Or because someone may take what you just said and be like, "Oh, I got a house now, I'm a business." You
Right.
know, or
I'm
you
glad you
recommend?
asked me that. I mean, you see that you have consistent money flowing in outside of what you already make outside of work, right? Like you've put your investments into a project and now you're seeing return from it, but it has to be consistent. So maybe to when you're around $50,000 to $80,000, your business is really looking like a business. Now it's time to structure it and get that LLC because that stops it from you being liable personally if anything happens with your income.
Mm. And what write-offs do high earners miss? Because you mentioned some earlier, but what are some that they may potentially miss?
The ones that I mentioned earlier are big bonuses, but we also have
Mm.
to use our car. We use mileage. You need oil changes, all things of that. When you go out to eat, you have meetings. You need to be discussing what we're talking about when it comes to this business at this meeting, and therefore it's a write-off.
You also mentioned investments. How do investments help you with your taxes?
So investing, that that leaves you a paper trail.
Mm.
And that paper trail gives me easier access to know what's going along and how I can go about writing that off.
A lot of high earners, from what I saw, they usually do like certain things towards the end of the year, like give donations to different causes and stuff. So is that like a year, end of the year play? Because some people look at it like, oh, they finessing, when they don't know. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. I was about to say, and actually, those type of things happen throughout the entire year. We just so happen to see it more often because of the holidays, because we have like
Mm.
those turkey giveaways, the
Yeah.
kids give giveaways. But trust me, especially in the high earners business, it happens every day, and that's what saves you your money. That's what